My name is Dominique Gamble. I am one of the program managers for the Cook County Small Business Source. Um, we are a program that was actually established through COVID for some small business needs. You can go to the next slide for me. So just a quick note before we get started here for a little etiquette for the training. If you have any questions, everyone, instead of speaking out loud, unless our wonderful coach, Google Coach Ginger, asks you to, if you could please put your questions in the chat, that would be great. Also, everyone, please make sure you're on mute before we get started. Use your headphones if you have to, and video if possible. We would love to see your wonderful faces. And if you lose the connection, all you need to do is just jump back on for us and we will be right here to let you in, okay? Thanks so much. So again, a little bit about the Cook County Small Business Source. So the source is partnered with what we call our business service organizations. We have 10 organizations, as you can see here, who provide one-on-one client needs to our small businesses. So I'm not going to name all of them, but you can see we have WBDC, which is the Women Business Development Corporation. We have Berwyn Development, who I do believe we have Kendra on the line from there. Allies Community Business, Chicago Urban League, Southland Development, and Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, just to name a few for you. So the way we work is if you were to have any sort of business needs, you can go directly to our website. Sign up for small business assistance, and we will partner you with one of these wonderful 10 organizations. We also have 34 referral partner community-based organizations that we work with, and you will receive whatever support services that you need for your business. Anything from marketing to tech support, or you need taxes, whatever it shall be. We also provide business advising, webinars such as this, and a host of slew services that we offer. So let me get to the next slide. And just a little bit about the source. So our numbers here are not as updated as we needed, but so far to date, we've helped over 10,000 businesses. We've put out, as you can see here, 17 million in grant support. I'll say a little bit more because we just dropped or closed our Grow Grant, which was open from October 3rd to October 31st. So we're going to give 20, let me see, I think it's about 22,000 plus businesses, $10,000 grants, and that will be coming in the beginning of January. So we'll have a little bit more numbers to add to the 17 million of financial support to businesses. The link is also dropped in our chat if you want to check out any more information about us. We've provided over 2,400 businesses with direct one-on-one support, and we've helped over 60% of businesses are people of color, and over 45% are women business-owned organizations as well. So that's just a little bit about us. If you have any additional questions, you can feel free to drop those questions in the chat. Again, myself, as well as my assistant Matt, is here to help us through the webinar. And I'm going to throw it over to you, Ms. Anka, who is our wonderful coach from Google, who will be running this webinar.
Well, thank you so much, Dominique. I appreciate that. So much fantastic information. I'm really excited about this, and I'm really happy to be here today. Thank you for inviting me, Ginger Birkenbiel, and of course the Illinois Google Digital Coach, which is me, to this amazing opportunity. So I'm actually going to take over the screen, so bear with me for one moment so I can get my slides up, because it's my turn. Yes, it is. It's my turn. So can you confirm, Dominique, that you can see my first screen?
Yes, Ginger, I can see your first screen. And thank you again for hosting this wonderful webinar.
Oh, thank you. And I hope you liked my version of Diana Ross's It's My Turn, because there's no way I can compete with anybody as amazing as Diana Ross. I also want to ask, just to make sure, because you let people know they can share questions and comments in the chat. Is the chat now active for everyone?
Yes, the chat is active.
Okay, so how do people get to the chat?
There's on the right-hand side of the screen, there'll be somewhere where they can enter it. There's also a Q&A button in the middle of the screen where they will be able to write questions for you.
Okay, so if you're on desktop, the chat's on the right side of the screen.
Correct.
What if you're on mobile? Do you have any idea what mobile's like on Zoom?
I'm not sure, no.
Okay, well maybe Dominique, since you're on mobile, you can put in the chat how to access the mobile for people that are on their mobile devices. I know for me, I have an opportunity to include information on the chat on the right, and I also have a way to have the chat at the top because I have multiple ways for me to access the information that I need. I don't know what it looks like for everyone, but definitely make sure you use the chat. And before I get started, I want you to really use the chat. And I always say this to everyone that we are, and by the way, in the chat, there's a way for you to let everybody see the chat versus just the hosts and the panelists. So just make sure you have everyone checked off. But what's really amazing about today's environment being online is that everyone is online and you could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to come here today to spend time with us, with Cook County and with Illinois Google Digital Code to Me. You could be anywhere. I mean, you know, we have access to all the tools that all the really big brands have. You know, you can, I don't even know where you're calling from. Let me know. I also want to encourage people to put their names in the chat, put the place on your website if you have a website that you want people to visit to buy something. If you have a YouTube channel, you want people to go and take a look at a video, put the link to the video. If you have a newsletter you want people to sign up for, put the link in the chat. Use the chat like a tool. I love everyone saying hi, welcome. I'm so glad to be here. It's really wonderful. I think that's great information and I'm grateful for that. I also want you to network in the chat. That is the way to work. A lot of people that are looking for employees right now, they're trying to find out who can manage a community conversation in a chat, who can manage a community conversation on a Discord, who can manage a community conversation for me on LinkedIn, right? That is exactly what happens. Is there a way, Matt, for you to mute everyone automatically?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so sorry about that. So this is really the way to communicate. I want to encourage you. I've noticed that Joan has already put in, we are 1SEC. Is that correct? We are 1SEC, or we are on ESEC. I'm not sure exactly what that website is, but it sounds amazing. Maybe you could put a link to something specific on the website. And I do encourage you to put something that's specific because this isn't a shopping webinar right now. This is about shopping and e-commerce. So one of the things I want you to keep in mind is, one, you never want to send people on a wild goose chase. You always want to send someone specific, something specific to your website to give them something to do, right? So when you send someone to a main website, they're just kind of like, what do I do here? Where should I go? What should be happening? And unless you have like a pop-up box that says, you know, sign up to get a free coupon or something, that's one thing, okay? So I just want you to keep that in mind. The other thing I want you to keep in mind before I start this class is put yourself in the shoes of a business, not a customer. So I know like all the time you're using your mobile phones, you're checking out like how to buy stuff or how to drive to get somewhere, things like that. And that's your consumer experience. What I want you to do is take this webinar and think about this as a business experience. How do I use every single tool that Jinja Birkenbuhl is going to share? How do I use this tool to get people to come to my website, to get to my products, to get to my social channels? What are the messages I need to share for people to get to me? How can I use these tools effectively, right? And that's really how I want you to think about all of these, because when you understand the concept of how to sell, you can sell anything, anywhere, and it doesn't just have to be on Google. It can be on any platform, anywhere. So that's actually what I love about Google, is that their tools are pretty much universal. They're working on a lot of things related to accessibility, but their tools are pretty universal, meaning once you learn these concepts and understand how to do these things, you can apply them anywhere and you become a professional marketer, whether you have an MBA in marketing or not, okay? So that's kind of how I want you to think about this. Think about your intent, about what you're trying to get from this class and how you can use these tools to the best of your ability. And once I get into the technical details, don't get overwhelmed, because you know what? You can always come back and take this class again. They are recording the class. It's going to go up on the YouTube channel. On their YouTube channel, you can watch this class again. It'll be great. So that being said, I want to welcome everybody to Selling Online with E-commerce Tools. I'm really, really excited that you're here today. This Google workshop is brought to you by Grow with Google, which is a program that helps people grow their skills, careers, and businesses by offering free digital skills, training, and tools. And the word free is important to keep in mind, because if you are spending money right now on classes, unless you're in college, I'm telling you, everything you need to know is online for free. So, try to get everything you can right now. All right, and I love this. Samantha does not have a website yet. And you know what? You can get a free website if you have a Gmail account. You can get a free website, but I'm not going to be talking about that today. Okay, so I am Ginger Birkenbuhl. I'm the CEO of Birk Creative, which is a visual identity and brand strategy company. And I help businesses of all sizes get customers and attention. I have staff all across the world because we're in virtual now. Everybody's working from wherever they are, the beach, the coffee shop, their car, whatever it is. I've got employees coast to coast, and of course in Europe as well. I have a podcast called the Honest Field Guide Podcast. Highly recommend you listen to that. I interview entrepreneurs, but I also interview people that are entrepreneurial. I just interviewed a director at Google, and she is running tens of billions of dollars of customer revenue through Google. She's tremendous, but she also launched a product within Google that is blowing up called Own Your Career. You really have to check out that conversation with Jenny Wood. It's amazing. And I have a band called Utah Carol, which is a country band that I launched online, and we're still selling songs. E-commerce, we're still selling songs from like 15 years ago. And I just launched a nonprofit called Journey of Gratitude. So check all those things out. And I'm happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. I did ask Domini to put my LinkedIn handle in the chat. So if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, just let me know that you were at my class today, and I'll immediately accept your connection. All right. So just another reminder, please use the chat. I can see a lot of people using the chat. The Cook County will be collecting the information in this chat. I don't think the chat saves on a Zoom, but what I do know is that you can always put your cursor in the Zoom and select all, and you can open up a Google Doc and you can paste the content into a Google Doc, and you can maintain the content in there, which includes all these websites and people's information. All right, okay. All right, so let's move on, and this is how you can reach me. So I love it if you save my LinkedIn in the chat, and also connect with me on Instagram or TikTok at Birk Creative. All right, so in today's workshop, wait, before I do that, I want to just make sure, what questions do you have for me? I usually like to just leave a 7-second moment of silence to see if anyone has any pressing questions that I have to answer before I start launching into this content, because I'm going to be going pretty fast. Let me check. Stephen, Domini will, I believe, Domini, you can confirm in the chat. This will be uploaded to YouTube, which would be great. So YouTube will be available for this recording. Thank you, Jasmika, for putting your website. I appreciate that. Stephen left his LinkedIn. All right, everybody's leaving their information. This is fantastic. Joan Hollingsworth, are you related to the Hollingsworth family in Washington that owns the Hollingsworth farm? That's such an unusual name. All right. Okay, I had her on my podcast too, one of the Hollingsworths. Okay, all right, so, oh wait, I should check these questions. Okay, we're good. Okay, so in today's workshop, I'm gonna explain why it's critical for retailers like you to sell online. And if you are a service-based business, you're still a retailer. Why do I say that? Because maybe you have a magazine or you have a book or you're selling classes or workshops because you have a lot of expertise, you have a lot of knowledge. This class is eligible, you're eligible for what we can do on this workshop as well. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to just sell candles and things to be able to use the tools that I'm going to talk about today. Potential customers need to be able to find your products. So to help with that, I'm going to start talking about two specific Google products, a business profile and Google Merchant Center. And then I'm going to introduce an e-commerce tool called Shopify. If you don't know what that is, go to Google, search for Shopify, and you can take a look at that platform. It's a tremendous shopping platform, tremendous e-commerce platform. I love it. It does cost money, but it's amazing if you have a real heavy product-based business. And I'm going to close up the workshop with a quick recap and some more resources. So let's get started. So every day, hundreds of millions of people turn to Google to find, discover, and shop. And this is not limited to Google search. People look for products when they go through Google News feeds, they watch YouTube videos, they check Gmail. And if you notice with Gmail, sorry for all the noise up there, I have people working upstairs. when you check your Gmail account, you might see a little notice that says promotion, and you'll see a little thing that says ad. Those are actually ads, right? And that's how people can also find out more about how to buy something, and they can see an ad in their Gmail account. That's exactly what that is. And I've actually been using it myself recently for some agency clients, and it's really delivering great results. So research shows that online shopping is on the rise. In fact, shoppers go online first in 60% of shopping occasions. Online shopping drives visits to stores as well. A global survey found that 45% of shoppers buy online and then pick up in store. There used to be this old message that, oh my gosh, I don't want to put my books online because no one will come to my bookstore. Well, the statistics show actually that when people find the books online, they're more likely to go to the store and buy the book. You know, that really is the truth. So don't ever be thinking that online competes with in-store, because it actually doesn't. They really do complement each other. Retailers need to show their products online because it drives sales. 58% of global purchases were prompted by something that a shopper saw online. When I bought my new car, I researched online, I watched videos, I listened to testimonials, I went on social media, I looked at some movie stars that I'm in love with that were like driving the car I wanted. I was like, oh yeah, that's really good validation. And then I went out and bought the car, right? So people want to know things before they go. 46% of shoppers confirm inventory online before visiting a store. So the takeaway is you need to get your products online, even if the sales happen offline. So an average online shopper journey has over 140 touch points. They touch multiple things before they actually make a purchase. You probably don't even know you're doing it because we are so raised in America to be consumers and to be shoppers. You're not even paying attention to what you're doing before you buy something. But here's an opportunity to start doing that. Now that you're in this class, you are going to be a much more aware shopper. You're going to be more intentional about what you're doing online because you're going to be understanding exactly what people are doing to get you to buy their things, because you're going to try to translate that information. How do I get people to do that for my business as well? So this slide lists some touch points on Google where US-based customer interactions can happen. And again, this includes Google search, images, having a business profile on Google, the shopping tab, which is what we're talking about today, shopping ads, and experimental places like Google Lens. Google Lens is really amazing. What I'd love for you to do if you're on desktop, I'd love for you to open an incognito window or a private browsing window. If you don't know what that is, it usually is, there's 3 dots on the right side that lets you open a private window, which means that you're not being tracked, your location's not being tracked. And I want you to type something in that you're interested in buying right now. Like maybe you're saying it's Thanksgiving, I want to buy a Thanksgiving wreath for the house I'm going to be visiting as a gift. Just type in Thanksgiving wreath in the incognito browsing mode, and then just start experimenting by looking at the different tabs at the top, and you can understand what a Google shopping experience will look like. And I would love it if you use Chrome when you do it. Google Chrome would be the best browser to use for this. Okay, so how do you do it? How can you get your products to appear on Google? I want to start with a Google business profile. I ran this class last week, was amazing. If you have a Gmail account and you have a business, any type of business that sees customers in store, or you go to customers' locations, you're eligible for a Google business profile. It helps your business stand out on Google Search and Maps. It's available for businesses, again, that make in-person contact with customers, either at a physical store or a specified service area. In this example, you'll see the featured product is the Essential Spices collection, and you can see a product photo, a name, and a price range. And clicking on the product reveals even more details. Once you create or claim your business profile, you can add products too, and I'll show you how to do that in the next few slides. Before you can use any of Google's products, though, you have to be signed into a Google account. A Google account is free. If you have a Gmail address, if your business uses Google Workspace, it's automatically a Google account. If you get email another way, you have to register your existing email address at the Google account, which is google.com/account. And if you've already created a business profile, be sure to use the same email address to sign in. Again, I really like utilizing Google private browsing or incognito mode, because that way you'll always know that you're signing into the right email address that's associated with your business, because you'll be prompted to put your password in. It won't automatically add you in. If your business or employer uses Google Workspace, you may still have an email address that doesn't look like an email address, but it's still a Google account. I know that I have one. It's hello@burtcreative.com. That's actually a Gmail account. All right, so for today's workshop, I'm really going to assume you're signed into Google already. You've already created and verified your business profile. If you haven't done that, please go to google.com/business to get started. And then you can access your business profile on a laptop, preferred versus a phone. google.com/business. You want to click that to access the product editor. So again, for those of you that don't have a website yet, this is still a great class to listen to and follow along, because you're going to have an idea of the type of thinking you're going to need before you start launching your business. Because if you're not online, frankly, you're probably not really in business. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be blunt. If you're not online, you're probably not really in business. I mean, it's the truth. So just understand that when you learn these things, these are skills that you can learn to then apply when you're ready to launch your website. Okay, so you're going to click that to access the product editor. Then you're going to follow a few steps. You're going to upload a product photo, enter the product name, and create or choose a category. You have the option to include a price range, description, and a button that can link to product details on your website. And then you click save. And you should always allow a few minutes for this to activate, but it's usually pretty quickly. At some point, it'll show up and customers will see it by clicking a see it on Google. And you can click on a product to make changes or delete it at any time. This isn't the old days of a billboard on the highway where if you have a wrong digit on the phone number, you have to reprint the entire billboard. This is not the way of the world anymore. If you're running billboard ads, if anybody's listening, please understand that you really can't measure the effectiveness of billboard ads, but you can definitely measure the effectiveness of digital billboards by using things like Google ads to get your content out there. I don't care what you're trying to advertise, but if you're not running Google ads, you're only doing billboards, that is old school. And that might actually be an ego play versus really trying to get results. I'll be very blunt about that. Please stop spending money on billboards. You can do a little bit, but not too much. All right, so this is what the same product looks like when you click on it from a business profile on Google. Clicking this button sends you to the product page on the Spice House's website. There's no charge to add these products, and clicks on the products are free as well. And that's how you add products to your business profile, which is a free tool on Google. Do you understand what it means to have a free store online with Google, one of the most powerful search engines in the world? It's pretty powerful. It's not the only thing you can do, and you're not necessarily going to guarantee to get a customer unless you do a lot of other things, but this is the first step, especially when you have products. And it looks beautiful too. So what about the other places on Google where products can surface? Our next topic is the Google Merchant Center. Now this gets a little technical, and if you've never used a spreadsheet before, I don't know why you've never used a spreadsheet. I would love it if you use a spreadsheet. I am a spreadsheet queen. I love them. I love spreadsheets. I go to sleep at night with my spreadsheet under my pillow. No, just kidding. But retailers use Merchant Center to make their store and product information available to shoppers across Google. Google Merchant Center, again, is a free tool. It's free, and you don't need to advertise it, add your products to it either. However, if you do want to advertise and show shopping ads in Google, you do have to first set up a Merchant Center account, which I'll go into in a little bit. All right, so what is Google Merchant Center? Merchant Center is a free tool that helps you upload your store and product data to Google and make it available for Google Shopping. Remember I asked you earlier to go to Google and look at all the tabs, type in a product, and see that there should be a Google Shopping tab. And if you click the tab, you'll see all the amazing things that you can buy that are related to the product that you're looking for, okay? So Merchant Center is free, and again, it helps you upload your product data and make it available to Google Shopping, shopping ads, and a plethora of other Google services. So you'll add your products in one place called the Merchant Center, and these products are eligible to appear on multiple places across Google, and I want to show you a couple places where you might actually see them. This is actually really fun. This is like my favorite class, and this is my favorite thing to do is to do things on Google Shopping. So first, products and extra product information may appear in Google search results. So Google's organic results typically include basic information like a title, a description, and a link, but some results will show more. And this extra information is actually called a rich snippet, and a snippet can really help a product stand out. This slide in particular shows the Spice House's ground fenugreek seeds in search results. Has anybody ever tasted or had Indian food that has this? It's really delicious. It's jazzed up with extra information, like a star rating, and this is called a review snippet. It also includes product details like price and availability of the seeds and things like that, right? So how can you help Google add that extra information to your products when they appear in Google search results? So this is where I get a little bit technical, so just stay with me because digital skills knowledge will get you skilled, and getting yourself skilled means that you can get really amazing jobs or run your business really effectively and productively. So please stick with me. So first, you want to talk to your website developer about adding what's called a structured data markup to your website. Okay, in a nutshell, structured data is a labeling system added to your web pages, and the label helps Google and other web platforms automatically understand your site and pull information like product data from the HTML. So if you have structured data on your website already, it can be used to automatically update products in Merchant Center. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to spend any more time really going into detail on this because it's a little bit complicated. And I'm going to be talking about Shopify later, which takes all of this out of the whole process. But if you want to work on improving how your products can appear in Google's organic search results, you really have to set up a Merchant Center, and you want to talk with your web developer about adding structured data to your website. It sounds hard because these words are like a new language, because this is a new language for a lot of us. Like, we've not been doing this, but just understand these really large brands that you're buying from constantly, they've already got this unlocked. And you're just like, okay, they have an unlock. It's working. They're making millions. They're making billions. They're making trillions. There's no reason why you can't make money doing the same thing. These tools are free and they're powerful and they're available today. They really are. So Next products from Merchant Center can appear for free in the shopping tab for US searches only, by the way. This is only US searches. So you want to go to google.com, do a search, and click on shopping, which I've already told you, to see results. And you can actually start doing this process by going to shopping.google.com. And I'm going to actually put this in the chat, shopping.google.com. Because once you actually launch into the Merchant Center environment with Google, it really does open up an entirely new world of opportunity for your business. It's pretty amazing. Not only the opportunity to put your products online, but also to learn. It gives you more opportunities to learn. Okay, so I have a question. If you can take a guess in the chat what the #1 search engine in the world is. And I know there's a lot of people online now that are saying, Google keeps saying they're the #1 search engine, but there's other search engines available that are also really amazing, and that is absolutely true. However, by search volume, Google is #1, so I guess I just gave the answer to #1. I didn't mean to do that. I slipped on that one. But what do you think the #2 and #3 search engines in the world are? And this is a trick question, by the way. If you can take a guess and put that in the chat without getting too distracted, please give it a shot. Give it a shot. I'd love to see your answers to that. All right. So you can also see, and if you already guessed this in the past, you're not fair. You can't guess again. You can't. If you've been in my class, you can't. So I'm just giving you. Don't do that to me, because I know some people do. All right, Steven, I saw you list Bing. You're funny. Okay, that's not the answer, but that's okay. I love it. Okay. All right. So you can also see products in Google Images. You want to go to google.com, do a search, and then click Images at the top to see the results. You can start this by visiting images.google.com. You can tell that the image in the results is connected to a product for sale if it has the product label, right? That's called product annotation. So that label indicates you can click the product and get more information. I really do recommend that you try it. Do a search for all the different types of products you sell. Do a search for the type of products you buy, and see what shows up in the Google results in the shopping tab. You will learn a lot. In fact, I go there first, because the shopping tab shows me all the places that my products that I'm interested in are available. It doesn't just show me one particular location where I buy everything. It actually shows me all different types of stores, including small business owners. Small business owners are using the Merchant Center. I'm going to tell you right now, the small business owners that are using this tab and using these products, they are really ahead of the game. All right, so Google Lens. I don't know if you know about Google Lens, but how many of you have actually tried it? If you want to check it out, you want to go to the App Store and download Google Lens. It's pretty amazing, but you can use your phone's camera to search in a visual way. It's basically like searching with an image instead of words. And this is an example of an experimental place where products may appear on Google. It's pretty amazing. You can actually use this and it'll suggest similar photos from like the Spice House's website, for example, including links to corresponding product images. So it's actually really amazing. If you don't have it, I want you to go check it out. Go to the Google Play Store or the App Store for iPhones and download Google Lens. You basically pick up your phone, you take a picture, and you try to figure out what it is or what it does, and it's really, really fun. It's really, really cool. it's not going to give you the same exposure or the same volume as a regular Google search. But I always like to say, why leave money on the table? If there's another opportunity for your product to show up, why not use all the things? I mean, that also includes things like podcasts, Google Podcasts, have a podcast, get a product mention, talk about, there's just so many options. It's really the limit of your imagination. It's really the limit, right? That is the limit. Okay. So last but not least, Merchant Center helps retailers advertise products on Google as well. You've probably seen shopping ads, and they are more than text. They incorporate a product photo, a title, price, store name, and more. Shopping campaigns can be used to promote online and local inventory. Local inventory ads help shoppers know what you have in stock and potentially drive more sales to your physical store if you have a physical store. I know for me, if I don't use the tools of Google and I'm just like trying to find stuff and I want to go buy something and I go to the store, if it's not there, I always kick myself and I'm like, are you serious? Did I actually not use Google Business Profile? Did I actually not go online to check if it was in stock? What am I thinking? What am I doing? Why didn't I do this? So just think about this, that really makes a difference. Okay. All right, so you've probably seen shopping ads again. I want you to go to Google Shopping. I want you to check out the shopping ads. In order to have these type of ads though, you really have to have a Merchant Center account. And I know I've mentioned that multiple times. I know I've talked about the structured data markup, things like that, but having a Merchant Center account is actually not that hard. So here's the basic process. You want to create a Merchant Center account. You want to add your products. You want to connect Merchant Center to Google Ads, and then you want to create shopping campaigns to advertise your products on Google. Very simple, very fast. All right, here's a high-level overview of how Merchant Center works. You want to start by creating a free account. You're going to upload products, and then those products can appear across Google. Merchant Center has an online setup guide, and it's available at g.co/merchantcentersetup. And I'm actually going to copy this link and put it in the chat, because no matter what, I really just want you to kind of understand how to do this. So let's see. I have to actually figure out how I get back in the chat because I did kind of close it down. So I'm not exactly sure how to get back in. Okay, here I go. Here it is right here. All right. All right. So I think that's going to get there. I'm actually not sure. So let's see. I don't exactly. Oh, here I am. Sorry about that. I see where I'm at right here. All right, here we go. Google Merchant Center. So here it is in the chat. You can take a look at that and you can get started and get more information. But here's a basic overview of the setup process. Okay, so you want to first go to g.co/Merchant Center and you're going to want to sign into Google. And if you're already using an account for your business to access services like Google Ads, you want to make sure to sign in the same account. And like I said, going to incognito mode or private browsing is a way to do that. All right. So then my chat window is like in the middle of my screen. Sorry about that. So next you're going to want to enter information about your business, including the name. That's what potential customers will see when they see your products, when they appear on Google. The country where your headquarters is located, where your business is registered. And you definitely want to include the correct time zone. Always make sure you have the right time zone. Typically, if you put the wrong time zone, it's harder to undo the time zone. All right, so then you want to select the checkout options that apply to your business. Merchant Center has 3 options. So on your website means that customers can see your products on Google, but they'll go to your website to buy it. Selecting on Google means customers can see your products on Google and buy them there. My personal favorite, in this case, you don't even need a website. You don't need a website if you can buy it on Google, right? Buy on Google is a pilot service, so you want to stay tuned for more information as it becomes available. But again, if you start the process of setting up Merchant Center, you might be eligible to be in the pilot. And let me just say, when a tech company puts something in pilot or in beta, that means that they're really trying a lot of things. You're going to get a lot of free information that you wouldn't get once it comes out of pilot and once it actually launches to the broader community. So if you can do this, I highly encourage you to do this and try it. And finally, if you select at your local store, customers can see your products on Google, but then they're directed to visit your store in person to buy them. And you can change these checkout options anytime. Personally, buying on Google, I love it because Google is a solid, secure, consistent, always loading, always working, and you have other integrations like ease and safety of using your credit card, You don't have to deal with, again, I don't mean to bash developers, but you're not really dealing with your own developer. You're dealing with Google developers, which is a whole nother level of developing that I actually love. I really love that. All right, so next you can link your Merchant Center to third-party platforms as well. And this can simplify the process for you for Merchant Center account. Shopify is an option. I highly encourage that. You can add more tools and integrations at any time, So this is the Merchant Center overview page. If you're setting up a Merchant Center, prompts are displayed at the top to help you complete the setup. The left navigation includes the products, performance to view reports, which help you get insights, and growth, where you can access suggestions for improving your product visibility. I love this. So if you selected the options on your website or at your local store, you have to verify your website before your products can appear on Google. And getting your website verified is a process. You have to add analytics, and you have to add Tag Manager or HTML to your file to your website. Again, you'll have to get a developer involved in this process. Because otherwise you won't be able to do these things. So again, just keep in mind, a website is a powerful tool, and you want to build your website effectively. You want to make sure it's safe. You want to make sure that it's secure, because you don't want people that come to your website to buy something and have your website hacked, which means that that hacker will get access to your client data. So you really have to understand that a website is a powerful tool, and don't take it lightly, and really, really get certified professional developers to help you build it, that understand how to do e-commerce, and that understand at least fundamentals and basics of cybersecurity, right? But again, and I'm not trying to sell you on Shopify, but when you're a small business and you're having limited funds, sometimes you're just like, I don't have time for all that. I don't have the bandwidth or emotional space to take on responsibility for cybersecurity. I'm just going to go get a Shopify or a Squarespace e-commerce site. And I have Squarespace personally. I don't have as many products to sell as other people, so Squarespace actually works really well for me. But if you use Shopify for your e-commerce store, it's automatically verified when connected to the Merchant Center, and then you can just pick up your stuff and go and start selling. So now that your Merchant Center is set up, the next step is to add your products, and you start by clicking products in the left navigation. And then you can click the button to add individual products, multiple products, or a combination of both. It's very, very simple. I know I'm speaking a lot of words, but when you actually go into this app and start doing this work, it starts becoming very clear. It's like, the sunshine starts opening up, and you hear like singing, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. So when you add an individual product, though, you're going to enter information about it in the Merchant Center. Some fields like title, link, and price are required. There's a lot of optional fields. Once you get more experienced and more mature with your business, you can start looking at variations. If you imagine that, Honda Motors has 1,000,000 variations and 1,000,000 SKUs and 1,000,000 products and items, they have entire teams working on this. You might be a team of one. So take your time and do as much as you can with the time that you have. So if you sell products with multiple sizes and colors, you can include the variants of that product. Products that are added individually must be edited individually. You can use a combination of individual product uploads and product feeds. Product feeds make it a lot easier to add multiple products to Merchant Center. So a product feed is a file that contains all the information about the products you want to show on Google. And the file includes information about your products called attributes. You want to create a product feed in Merchant Center, and you're going to start by entering some basic information like language, country of sale, things like that. And you're probably saying to yourself, wow, is that really what you have to do? Yes, you do. You have to do these things. This is what it means to have a business that sells products. This is what it means to become a marketer for your business, because unless you have extraordinary amounts of money that you could hire teams to do these things, you really have to figure out how to do it yourself. And I always like to tell people that if you're uncomfortable doing these things, find someone that's not uncomfortable to do them for you, if you can afford to hire the person to do it that has the expertise to do it. Okay, you really want to hire someone with some expertise. If you can't afford the expertise, then you have to learn and you have to do it yourself. And of course, it helps if you love running a business, or you love being in business, you love being a marketer, and you love your products, and you want to see the outcome be successful for you. Then these things become a lot easier. So next, you're going to give your product a product feed a name. This is not going to appear on Google. You're going to choose how you want to add products to your product feed. And if you're just getting started, one of the easiest ways is using Google Sheets. I mentioned it earlier, and there's actually an available template provided for you to do this. You don't have to create things from scratch, right? So I know some people, their Google Sheets are proprietary. They have a lot of specialized data. and formulas in there, and you want to protect your sheet. But you know what, depending on where you are in your journey, you may not be able to go get that complicated with your Google Sheet. So just use the template that's provided. Make it easier on yourself. Perfection is always a killer of progress. Don't try to be perfect. Just try to get your business out there and try to start selling. So if you select Google Sheets, Merchant Center displays two options: use a template or select another spreadsheet. You can always use a second option if you've had an existing product feed and it's already set up to work in Merchant Center. But if you're starting from scratch, you choose the template. I love templates. A lot of really smart people made them. There's a link to instructions for creating your feed as well as product feed specifications. And before creating this feed, you want to read through the instructions and specifications and make sure you're setting up things correctly. I know this sounds very technical. At the end of the day, you're simply creating a spreadsheet with the product information you want to display across Google. That's it, you know. There are some specific requirements on Merchant Center though. The availability attribute accepts three options: in stock, out of stock, and pre-order. And you know why that is, because when people are going to search on Google, they want the information they want right now. Is it available? Is it in stock? Can I order it now? Can I order it later? Like what do I do? I want to buy something right now. And always think to your mind, when people are looking for things on Google, they have an intent. They want something. They either want to learn something, they want to go somewhere, they want to buy something, or they want to sell something. I mean, you know, people are not going to Google for nothing. And you know what? Google's made a lot of people a lot of money. So just know that you can start on the path of trying to make your own money as well. So once the Merchant Center is set up and it's complete, your products can start appearing in many places, as I mentioned earlier: Google Search, Images, Shopping, Shopping Ads, and experimental places like Google Lens. Google Lens, really, really cool. So there's still an important topic we haven't addressed yet, which is how to actually sell their products on your website. And many small businesses use third-party tools. We're going to talk about just one: Shopify. I use Squarespace because I don't have enough products actually, because I'm a service-based business. I have some products and I sell some products, but Shopify is a tremendous, tremendous platform. There's an option to connect to Shopify and Merchant Center. It's pretty easy to do this. So a lot of small businesses, they use Shopify, right, to grow their customer base, develop customer relations, grow their sales, and of course, grow their business. Go to Shopify right now. Go to shopify.com and check it out. They have all different kinds of currencies they accept. I think they even have a third-party plugin. You can do cryptocurrency if you want. I think they used to. I don't know about now, but they used to. So I want to first go over Shopify and why it exists. You know, it's really easy regardless of your knowledge base. And the last piece I'm going to touch on is how to connect Shopify to Google. All right, so, you know, Google wants to make information accessible to everyone. Shopify wants to make commerce better for everyone, right? Every business owner should have the best tools. And I said this much earlier. You can compete against big businesses. You can compete. Don't think you can't. You can compete. You know, David and Goliath, what's that story? You can do it. Okay, so Shopify, just some background, was founded in Canada 15 years ago, right? And it's now being used across 175 customers. And I think they generated over 155 billion in sales using Shopify, different businesses. It's pretty cool. And during the pandemic, a lot of business owners found they needed to stay afloat, and Shopify actually kind of blew up at that point. So Shopify allows you to sell your physical products on your own with a personalized e-commerce website. This is what a Shopify website can look like. They're very beautiful. Templates are designed by the smartest and brightest people on the planet. It's very professional, and you want people to believe that you're professional. Even if you're not yet, you're still working on it. You really want to look professional when you're online, especially in today's competitive environment. You don't want to have things that look, you know, not designed well. Typography and fonts are in cursive. Maybe the type is too small, people can't read it, or maybe, you know, you want to have some accessibility features on your website. Maybe you have like grainy, blurry, digitized photos. You want to do things like that. You really want to go into an environment where you're setting yourself up for success. People are more visual now. They want to see videos. You want to make sure you have a professional platform to do that. So the other thing I want to mention about Shopify sites, they actually are designed to convert really well. If you have a custom website that you built with a developer that doesn't have key e-commerce experience, it may not convert well for you, for your business. But if you have a platform that's designed by the developers that are specializing in e-commerce, and they're building it for something like Shopify. I mean, don't get me wrong, Shopify is making their own money as well, but they're going to have a lot more bells and whistles because they know if they're delivering success for other businesses, that other businesses are going to continue to come to their platform to sign up for Shopify. So they have a reason to want to do the right thing. So Shopify.com, you can create an account and you can always start a free trial. And once you do that, you can log into Shopify from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. It's that easy. It's a cloud-based service. So once you set up an account, you'll be asked a few questions to help Shopify get to know you and your business better. Once you've filled in these questions, click next. And you can skip this step if you want. And again, I want to mention, you can get a free website on Google. It's not an e-commerce site though. So someone earlier said they don't have a website yet. If you have a Gmail account and you sign up and you go to Google My Business, you can just follow the prompts and you can find the links to get a free website on Google. And I am actually running a class, I believe at the middle of December with the Business and Consumer Protection, which is on free website, domain, email, and email marketing, and that is coming up. And you can find that at googledigitalcoaches.com and look for Ginger Birkenbuell, and you can sign up for my class. It'll be with the City of Chicago Business and Consumer Protection. I think it's on December 18th or the 16th or the 13th. All right, so you have the option to skip this step if you want, if you don't want to fill in all these things for Shopify to know about your business. Once you create an account, you'll be logged into the admin section, and you want to think of your admin like the cockpit or control of your website. You can modify the theme, you can add products, you can view and fulfill orders, you can create email marketing campaigns, view reports, all kinds of things. You can fill in payment, delivery and pickup options, tax settings, terms of service, return policy. You always want to think about terms of service and return policy. A lot of times, if you don't have these things in writing on your website, customers will not shop with you because they don't trust your business. So you always want to find someone, and I'm not providing legal advice, but you really want to talk to someone that specializes in e-commerce and websites to help you come up with your terms of service and return policy if you're not going to use Shopify. All right, so getting your products online. So when we talk about products on Shopify, we mean not just physical products, but any digital tools, which I mentioned earlier. Online course, for example, is a product. A podcast is a product, especially if you have an associated magazine. Your products might also be services you offer. You might have package deals for people who come in and get 30 minutes of consultation for, $500 or $1,000 or whatever. If you're an established business and you have a spreadsheet of your inventory, you have the option to upload that. But let's say you're adding a brand new product. What does that look like? So clicking add product will bring up a form with lots of fields, and you don't have to include every detail, but you'll want to consider a few things, right? You want to make sure to give your product a name again, description and details, and these things will become automatic. They will not be something that I have to tell you over and over again. You're going to start realizing that everywhere you go, whatever platform you're on, you're always going to have a product name, you're always going to have a description, and you're always going to have to include some details. So these are just fundamental basic digital skills, okay? These are not specific to this particular workshop on Shopify. So in the description, you'll want to add relevant details about the product. You'll also want to make sure you add product images. Visuals are a key factor, and then you'll want to add a price for this product, right? Once you've submitted these details, your product will be ready to sell across all channels, including Google. I do want to make one note. When you're creating image or video files, make sure that you name the file what it is, and if you have SKU numbers, add the SKU number to the file. For example, if you took a photo on your phone and you're like, your photo, you download the photo and you upload the photo to your website, your photo is going to have a name that's like XYZ22576 pixelxl.jpg. That is not what you want to do. To help yourself in things like Google search, you want to actually name your file what it is. You want to name it, Burke Creative Podcast Booklet, and you want to add a SKU number if you have it, .jpg or .mov or .mp4. You always want to name the file before you upload it because that actually does help with search. Okay, that's just a little tip from Ginger Birkenbuell. I thought I would share that because that's not in my notes. That's not in Google's notes. Those are in my notes in my head. Okay, all right. So I also want to look at how you connect Google to Shopify, which is actually really super easy. So Shopify allows you to connect your customers wherever they happen to be on your website, in store, a third-party platform, and social media channels, and helps you manage these sales across all the channels. And you want to connect to Shopify to Google because that's where people go to look for things, and it's totally free. So to add Google, you click on sales channels in the sidebar and then click on the plus sign next to Google, and it's pretty simple. Of course, when I say that, you're going to try it. You're going to say that didn't work. Hopefully that's not going to be the case. I mean, it's pretty seamless the way these things work. But again, Sometimes you have to go into incognito browser mode, log into the right emails. There are certain steps, there are certain basic digital skills you have to have in your process in order for these things to actually work perfectly every time. And I know I said earlier, perfection is the killer of progress, but there are certain things that you do need to be doing to make sure that these things do line up straight up like dominoes, right? So when you add Google as a sales channel, it will in sync in real time with your Shopify account. And you can always make changes in products in either Google or Shopify, and it will sync to all channels. And then you want to add sales channels to proceed. And then to set up the Google channel, you'll need to first sign in with your Google account, which are the keys to the Queen's Castle. And this will require your Google account email address. If you don't have a Google account, you can create this one right in the Google channel. I mean, these things are all very integrated. You're probably noticing this right now. And to use Shopify's Google channel, your Shopify store needs to meet a few requirements to sync with the Google Merchant Center. Your Shopify store has to be set up online, and it has to be published. It can't be in draft. Relevant payment and contact information. Remember, I mentioned you have to have a refund policy and you have to have terms of service. If you are a business and you're selling products in a store, come on, you've got to have these things in place. If you don't have them, you're not necessarily really in business, and you want to make sure people trust you. So make sure you have these things in place. It's basic, fundamental. And then you want to have the currencies that you're going to be selling in, the countries and the currencies. So you want to make sure that's set up as well. And these are actually requirements. You won't be able to go farther or further with this process unless these things are in place. And these are safety mechanisms, to protect the customer data. So once store requirements are met, it's time to sync your product feed. And you need a Merchant Center account to do this. You want to click on the Get Started button to link or create a Merchant Center account. Sounds like a lot, huh? This will take you to a page to connect your Google Merchant Center account directly within the Google channel. And if you don't have an account, you can create one right within the Google channel. So this step is really important to make sure that the product information is in Google and can be surfaced to shoppers across Google. That's our goal, to become more discoverable. The Google channel imports your existing product data from Shopify to Google's Merchant Center. And you kind of want to think about, Google channel will automatically fetch data, so you don't have to enter it twice or worry about mistakes. It's completely free to show your products in Google's Merchant Center. Once you do that, you also have the option to advertise again those products with Google Shopping ads, but that is not required. That is not required, and I'm not asking you to buy Google ads. So now that you've linked your Merchant Center to Shopify, at this stage, the products aren't syncing yet. To do that, you'll have to select the market or country that you will sell in and your shipping settings. If you've ever done anything like this on the other selling platforms, you probably already know this stuff, right? It's the same. That's the thing. What's happening in your mind on the process of another platform you use is the same process you can use here with a little tweaks. So all of these processes these are digital skills, right? Even if you don't have a store, these are digital skills. So finally, you have the option to connect your Google Ads account to get started with smart shopping campaigns. And these are paid ads that help your products appear in front of shoppers on YouTube, Gmail, Google search, and all across Google. To set up a smart shopping campaign, you have to just sync your products and set a daily budget. Google will optimize your campaign, choose the best time and place to show your products to shoppers, and then boom, again, you are in business. You're in business, right? So we've covered a lot of ground, but I want you to remember that both Google and Shopify are really, truly designed to make it easy as possible to get started. You don't have to be good to get started. You don't have to be good. You just have to start to be good. I mean, it is so true. And I prefer my idea of perfection's the killer of progress. I am a much more impulsive marketer. I'm like, I got to try this right now. And I try it, see if it works. If it doesn't, I bounce. I mean, that's how I operate, try, fail, bounce, go to the next. Try, fail, bounce, go to the next. There's no time to do anything else. We're in a digital, global, intergalactic space world right now. And if you're spending exorbitant amount of your energy focusing on super crazy details or negativity, you're taking your energy away from the place that you can find success, which is helping yourself and your family and your community and your world be successful and build wealth. So please don't get caught up and stuck in some things, because it doesn't help you in the long run. All right, so I want to wrap up today's workshop with a few more resources. I'm actually going to just let you know about this one called g.co/growmystore. Now, this is a really powerful platform that I highly recommend you take a look at. There are so many resources here. It's designed for retailers who sell online, in store, or both. It gives you reports. You can get evaluations on details, personalizations, your website performance. It measures how fast your site loads. Google has deprecated, I think it was called Google My Site, or it was called Test My Site. That's actually been deprecated. So now you want to go to Grow My Store, and that will give you what you need to know. And then you also can go to a website called g.co/grow/quick help. And this will give you 3-minute video tutorials on other things, including what I just talked about today, but it won't be from Illinois Google Digital Coaches. It'll be from people that actually work at Google or paid actors. So it'll be much more bite-sized, specific, not as interactive, not as much personality driven like I am. And that will be something you might want to take a look at as well. But you might want to take a look at the video. How can I improve my retail website? And that might give you some more information as well about your website, your storefront website. There's also a free tool that's out now called Local Opportunity Finder. This is brand new. Check this out. This one is putting in the chat here. This tool helps small business owners improve their presence on Google Search and Maps by analyzing their business profile on Google. So just, listen, artificial intelligence is really amazing. There's a lot of great things that are rolling behind all these tools to help you be more effective as a small business owner. Take advantage of all these things. The businesses that came to my workshops in Chicago, which I launched at Chicago BACP in 2017, those businesses that came to my classes in 2017 and said yes and took a leap and decided I'm going to trust this information and see what happens and try, they survived and thrived during the pandemic because they at that point had been online for 3 years. They had been online for 3 years at that point, and they knew what to do. So there's new things that are happening right now, and I want you to even if you listen to this information and you're just like, oh my God, that was so technical, I didn't know the class is going to be like this, it was really hard. I want you to go forth and take advantage of all these free learnings, really, really free learnings. And then last but not least, I do want to share with you about the Google Career Certificates. So Google's career certificates are designed for anyone 16 and up. You don't need a college diploma to get training and certifications in programs like IT support, project management, UX design, data analytics, digital marketing, e-commerce, and more. These are things that help you start a new career, to land a competitively paid job. And the Google Career Certificate Program, not only when you complete these programs within whatever specific area you're interested in, you'll be eligible to apply for available jobs at Google. Not necessarily that you'll get them, but you'll be eligible to apply for them. And there's other companies that are part of the Google certificate ecosystem that you can apply for jobs at their companies as well. So once you get these certificates, are pretty amazing. And I'd love to know if anyone on this call has actually gone through the Google certificate program. I'd love to know if you've done it and what your experience is like. You can earn these certificates and they can really prepare you for new growth, a new career in a high growth industry. And you can usually finish these certificates in under 6 months. I want to give you the link here. It's grow.google/certificates. And in this job market, if you take a look at tech jobs right now, there are so many tech jobs. And the reason that some of them are going unfilled is because people are not having the digital skills required to take on these jobs. And these particular, these 5 that I just listed to you, these are like the top 5 jobs that people are looking for. I mean, they're not, I didn't just randomly bring up these 5 for no reason. IT support, project management, UX design, data analytics, and digital marketing, e-commerce. I didn't just say that randomly. That is truly because those are the jobs that companies are looking for the most right now. So getting a career certificate in those areas, and I realized I forgot to put the G. It's supposed to be grow.google/certificates. You can get started by going there. Businesses, by the way, someone asked me this question. Businesses can get up to 500 scholarships each to Google Career Certificates to train their employees. So for example, my host here with Cook County, if you can sign up for this, which is grow.google/certificates for business, you can sign up for this and you can get a scholarship to train. You can get 500 scholarships to each Google certificate to train your employees on these different areas. These scholarships are worth up to $100,000 in workforce training per American company. So U.S. businesses only are eligible for this, and you can receive up to 500 scholarships. And by the way, They're offered on Coursera, and this offer is only valid through December 18th, 2024. So you do have another 2 years to do this. But listen, the eligibility and number of licenses are subject to application, business verification, and approval by Coursera. But I highly recommend this. I am a company, and I have scholarships available for my employees to get certificates. And I have a smaller business, right? So anybody that has a business can apply for this, and then you can then train your workers, your staff, your collaborators to not only invest in their professional development, which is what you'd be doing, but when they are professionally developed, they're going to take that professional development and reinvest it back into the company they work for, which hopefully is yours. So there's a lot of like wins all the way around with these career certificates. You know, a lot of these tech companies, they're not even requiring college degrees anymore. They just really want to know that you can do IT support. You know what I mean? So again, 16 and up, I highly recommend that you do this. I want to thank everybody for coming to today's workshop. It's 12:05. I went a few minutes over. We spent a little bit of extra time at the front end. I know some of you on this call and this webinar are thinking to yourself, wow, this is a lot. And I had no idea I was going to be learning this much. You might have to come back and take this class again. And that is completely appropriate. You know, again, a lot of people feel they want instant gratification right away. They want to learn everything right now and go. And maybe you're that person that can do that. I'm that person. But sometimes you have to like listen to things 2 and 3 times before you actually it starts to penetrate, you know, the place in your brain that helps you run your business effectively. And I really, really encourage you to take this class again. And I think I put the link in here. I put g.co/grow/quick help. And I highly encourage you to do that. And I actually want to just go back one slide and copy this one link. It is the Grow with Google link. And that link is actually, I'm going to go to it right now. It's actually grow.google. And I am going to, I think you can see this on my screen. It's grow.google link, and I'll put it in the chat as well. So you can go here and you can learn a lot more. Thank you very much for coming to the e-commerce with Illinois Google Digital Coach Ginger Birkenbuell. I'd love to connect with you again on my LinkedIn channel. I'd love for you to follow me on my YouTube Shorts channel, which is at Burt Creative, and also my TikTok, which is at Burt Creative, and my Instagram at Burt Creative. And other than that, thank you for coming. And if you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. And I want to actually see if anybody guessed the number 2 and number 3 search engine in the world. Because if somebody guessed it, you're going to get a little surprise. Let's see. Dominique, did anybody guess?
I don't see any guesses in the chat, so
I saw Bing in the chat.
yeah.
I know,
that's
that made me
awesome.
laugh. I almost got distracted. I almost like flew off my notes when I saw that one because he's got like a smiley face and he says he works for Microsoft. It's like, go Bing. Yeah, you know that's not the answer, Stephen, but I love you for trying to guess. Okay, so Louis Anagastopoulos guessed correctly. The number 2 search engine in the world is YouTube. Congratulations, Louis. Are you still on the call? Put yourself in the chat and say, yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay, great. So let's see if anybody else guessed anything. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see. Bernadette, come to my class on December. Oh gosh, I really need to remember when that class is. I gotta look right now, people. I'm sorry. I gotta look right now. Let me find this class. Dominique, when is my next class? Is it on the 18th?
This class will also we can post on the Cook County website as well.
Okay. I just
I
want to
believe
tell
it's December 9th.
What's that? No, I mean
Just check the website. It'll be on the website.
the one for that I have coming up for the BACP. Oh wait, you're right. I'm sorry. Forgive me for that, Dominique. You're correct. December 9th is the email domain free website workshop. Yes, thank you. It's on December 9th. I was thinking to myself, is it the BACP? So forgive me for that. But I will be coming back to run that workshop. But that one's actually going to be in person. So I'm going to be in person at Cook County. So that's going to be great because I'm going to have snacks from a couple local businesses at that workshop. So that'll be actually really fun. So Bernadette, make sure you come to that. And that's going to be downtown at 69 West Washington. But let me see if anybody else guessed the let's see. For some reason, I cannot get to. Are you still there? I feel like I might have lost the feed. Did I?
Oh, we're still here.
No, we're still here.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I was just trying to see. So, did anybody else guess the website or
We
the
have
the top
Amazon.
the top three? Someone said Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's not Amazon. Believe it or not, Amazon is actually not a search engine in the way that we're trying to search for things. Like, Amazon is a friend of me, but you can buy products and things. But search engine is really what I'm asking. Like when you can put something in. Let's see. Wait. Steven said, could it be Google, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook? You know, I love your guessing because you also guessed TikTok. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you what it is. So first of all, let me just say that Steven and Lewis, please send me your email address and not your email address, your mailing address to jberkenbuell@google.com. This is for Lewis and Steven. Let's see here. And you can chop this up off. You're not going to put this on the YouTube, right, Dominique? You're not going to do that, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
no.
don't put this part on the YouTube.
We'll edit.
You'll edit okay. So Lewis and Steven, you send me your mailing address to this address, and you will receive a free Google Home Mini. Okay? And I know you work at Microsoft, Steven, but you can always regift the Google Home Mini, okay? If you don't want to keep it because it's contraband in your house. I get it. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. All right, so make sure you do that. Marie, you guessed Google. Okay, so Marie, you're also eligible for one too, okay? It's not Amazon though. So Marie Ambrose, please do the same thing. Copy, I will send you a free Google Home Mini because you guessed it. Okay, so the number 3 search engine, I told you it was a trick question, and I gave a ton of hints. Google Images is the number 3 search engine. And some people would argue that Google Images is actually number 2 because their search volume is higher than YouTube. So what I want you to do, yes, it's true. What I want you to do for everyone that's still on the call, I would like for you to do a test. I want you to go to Google on Chrome or wherever you are, but you need to be on Google, right? Go to google.com. I want you to type in your name in google.com. Put quotes, Ginger Birkenbuell, unquote. That's my name. Put your name in quotes, and I want you to then navigate to the image section, and I want you to see what comes up. If you don't want to put your name, put your business name and see what comes up, okay? And then you can take a look at what your professional brand reputation looks like online, because that is what everybody sees. We're not in person anymore, not as much as we used to be, although we're coming back. But people look for you online, and they look for your business online. And what's online is what they believe because it's online. And what's there is what they believe is true because it's online. It's because they see it. When you see it, you believe it. So just understand that all these 3 places, Google, YouTube, and Google Images, are opportunities for you to put your business, your information, your personal brand, your professional brand, your products, your services, everything can go everywhere in all these places, and the whole world can see. It's not a closed environment. You don't need to log in. You don't have to sign up. These are public environments that everybody can see that has internet access. So that is it. That's it. So I hope that you like what you see on Google Images. If you don't, you have work to do. You have a lot of work to do. So let's get going. Let's get cracking. This is the end of 2022. We're going into 2023. Let's start off on the right foot and let's hit it. All right, Dominique, this is wonderful. It's 12:13. I'm looking forward to our next workshop in person. Without any more, I think I'm good.
You're great.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much, everyone. Take care.